Okay, now you can go.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, we're excited to officially launch you guys, right? Not that you haven't already been doing things, not that maybe you haven't already participated in an onboarding call. And that's a change that we've made recently. And by we, I'm using kind of like the corporate Perga wide we is that we have shifted from onboarding to what is an official launch. So this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 takeoff. This is your takeoff call. We do want you to know, and we want you to know this for future reference, that those calls, there were two calls that were previously onboarding calls. They'll be modified to be launch calls. They are going to continue to happen on Monday and Friday, and you can see the times here on this slide. So as you guys move forward and as you're bringing new people in, or at any time, if you want to come back and get another dose of relaunch, these calls will be happening. And we want you to know that you can tap into those anytime you want to, right? And everyone can participate in those. But onboarding has kind of changed, right? And now onboarding happens in our Perga back office, right? So there's a couple things that we should have already accomplished. And Shalene and I have been going back and forth on this. So, Shalene, I'm going to let you walk through this section and we'll make sure that everyone's kind of up to speed and that they've accomplished this. And then we can kind of show the onboarding checklist next and make sure we're all on the same page.
Okay, sorry, I had to shut my window, the traffic in front of my house. Okay, so first off, with onboarding or when you get started, you get an email. In the email will be just your beginning things that you're going to do. Okay. So, like, number one on your onboarding, one of the things that they're switching away from is more of they're not taking you through the steps of getting onboarded. They're teaching you how to launch your business. But we felt that it was still super important that you understood how to log into your back office, some of the first steps that you need to do to make sure you're connected in the right place. So, as far as onboarding goes, and the reason we want to help you understand this is so that you can help your new people understand it the same way, is you can easily go to your email, log into your back office, and up at the top, there is some white squares in the header. You're going to click on digital onboarding. It is a step-by-step process. We're going to highlight some of those processes, but it's not something that we want to walk through everything because it's going to continue to grow and change. And there's lots of resources within the onboarding that you're going to want to go back to that, not just as a new partner, but to keep up on what's all changing. They're adding new graphics, they're adding new information in there. So it's just a hub of great information that we want to make sure you get logged in, you go to your onboarding, you work through your onboarding, and then we also want to make sure you're plugged into the correct channels. Do you want me to do the channels, Tasha, or do you want me to go through the other two parts of this first?
Let's go through the other two parts because we've
Okay.
got it on
Okay.
that summary slide.
Okay, number two, know your why. When you know your why, you stop chasing everything and start building something. So we all come into this business for a different reason. And that's what makes this so amazing is that why you came in and what you're good at is different than why I came in and what I'm good at, but we can work together and really develop each other And your why is going to help you when things are hard, when, maybe you're up against, having to invite somebody to the call. You can always go back to that why. So we're going to talk a little bit about the why, and we have some documents that I'll provide in our team page for you to work on that. And three, make the decision to lead by example and be radically generous. So, one of the things that you need to make sure also is your pro ship is set up in your back office. That will make sure that your core four is automatically shipped and the correct card that you want used is in there. And then, of course, we have our amazing Perga packs that we talked about on our Monday meeting. That we have a goal to just help with the getting the Perga packs out. So again, culture
That
sharing, radical
what's really cool
generosity.
about that,
Go ahead, babe.
yeah, what's really cool about that is we have the opportunity to become the exclusive partner of Nutrition Rescue, which is, um, I don't even know if we kind of understand or want to talk through how cool that is, but that's a pretty amazing opportunity.
For sure. All right.
Uh,
Do you want me to
Okay,
do this
so
one or are you doing
Shalene,
this one?
let's review this onboarding checklist,
Mhm.
because we want to make sure everybody gets these links. And if they don't have the links, I'm going to write it down and we're going to make sure they get all of them.
Yep. Okay, so again, your welcome email from Perga. So typically what as a sponsor, so for example, Shay joins, I'm going to want to connect with Shay and I'm going to want to welcome her into our team into Perga. But number one, make sure she got her welcome email because that's going to have a lot of the information to just make sure she's linking things up correctly. One of the things we learned about the welcome email is there's the Telegram app that they use for communication. You need to download it first. So, what you'll want to do is go to your phone and download the Telegram app, then go back to your email after you've filled out everything from your Telegram app to be able to get connected to the Perga wide, company wide communication. And that is just outbound. You can't chat back to it, it's just outbound. So that's Perga wide. That's in your email. It's also in your onboarding, but it's in your email. So that's kind of your first steps. Um, that would be the Perga group chat. Now, we will talk about lineage, who your sponsor is a person you joined right under. And above us, we have other amazing leaders that can help us. So Tasha's above me. And even if you're above Ashley, Tasha's above us. And then on top of Tasha is going to be Tracy. So Tracy, you'll see on a lot of our calls. She was on the Monday night call. Just a really great, very good leader. She has a team chat called Perga Elite, and they have an outgoing and a chattable one where you can ask questions. So those we will provide links for you. So the biggest thing for us is we want to give you the information, but we also, just like a platter, we want you to be able to choose which ones so you're not overwhelmed. I would highly suggest downloading them all so you can go to them as you need, but Perga Elite updates only and Perga Elite chat. Okay, so right there we have three Telegram groups. And then, of course, we want to keep track of our team and help our team, and all of us work together to help each other. So we created the Powerhouse Team Facebook page and we have a chat. We may decide that the chat's not needed as we, morph things, but the team page right now is where we're trying to house things like this that you can easily connect yourself with or your new people with without having to reinvent the wheel all the time. You can tag them in the links, you can tag them in the onboarding, and then it just helps you get going a little bit better. Anything I missed on there, Tasha?
Perfect.
Okay.
No, and in fact, I think you did a great job also identifying the chain of solutions. Um, Shalene mentioned, right? She is above all of you, and we are pushing to get Shalene to Ruby, and just want you to know that she's in the running for that. I'm right above her, and of course, Tracy is above all of us. So, just so you know, we are the three people that you will go to if you need anything. We are the three people that will chase things um, through to corporate when we need to get additional information. Anybody have a question about that? All right, awesome. We kind of covered that. Um, a couple things just to make this really simple. I know this is not new for any of you, right? You've all done a direct sales or network marketing business before. And here at Perga, we do it very similar to other direct sales companies. We do two things, right? We get customers and we get customer getters. But right now, we are not in a position, right, until 2027 to actually enroll customers directly or ship to customers directly. So, right now, what our focus is on is getting customer getters. And I want you just to take a second and kind of think about how smart this is and what an advantage this could be, right? If you're building a structure, or like it says on this slide, we're establishing strong roots to your business. If you are focusing on getting the customer getters in place, what's going to happen to your business in 2027 when we open up to having being able to sell directly to customers? Anybody, what are you thinking, right? Let's see, you have, I mean, exactly, right? Talk about blooming, right? We've got this deep root structure, and then all of a sudden, everybody's kind of working together to get the word out to customers, and it just explodes out the top. So hopefully you can see the value. I know for some, it's a little frustrating, like, oh, we're in pre-launch, we're in beta, we're just beta testers at this point. But I want to kind of shift your thinking, right? Oh, we are in this phase where we are pushing deep roots of customer getters, and this will also help you for the next little bit of what we are going to do. Let's take a little pause at this point and just see, anybody have any questions about what we've talked about so far? Are we good? Okay, I'm going to assume we're good. So this is also not new to most of you. This is the Perga system. You guys have heard about it. We have a system, and it is to peak, present, and pass, right? You've heard those three P's of the system, but we're going to expand that a little bit today. And we're going to help you with some of the things that need to happen in between there. Before we start piquing anyone's interest, we need to have a list of people that we want to talk to. So we're going to focus on that today. Now, it is not lost on Shalene or I. I'm going to go back, and I want to take a second and say this. It's not lost on us that all of you are here for different reasons, right? You want to accomplish different things. each of our whys are likely very unique, right? Some of you might be here because you really just want to improve your health. I mean, I've heard Paula mention things about that for her why and how hard she's worked on her insulin resistance. And some of us might be here because we want to create an income. I don't know if you guys feel comfortable sharing, but I'd love to hear your whys, and I'll tell you why. I want to hear your why because as your leaders, Shalene and I, our job is to help you to get what you want, right? It's not about what we want. In fact, I train this in my 9 to 5 business, my day job. Like, it is not about what I want when I go into one of my partner medical clinics. Everything I do should be about helping them get what they want and what they need. And I have the same focus here. However, I'm going to kind of backpedal a little bit and I'm going to say this. One of our other jobs, in addition to helping you get what you want, is helping you to see what's possible. Because there's a chance that you only see this much. And we might have visibility to this much, and Tracy might have visibility to this much. So, part of our job is expanding your possibilities. And then I'm just going to throw in kind of a third thing that we need to do. You may or may not have been part of a team before. You may have, been, played a sport when you were younger, or you might have been on the debate team or whatever. If you've done a team sport, you'll understand this. Every team has a coach, and one of the jobs of the coach is to help the members of the team get better, right? To help them do the things that make them more successful. So, this is the balancing act. This is one of the reasons that we're here. We want to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish. We want to support your why and help you get your goals. We want to show you what's possible, but we also want to help you develop, right? So that it's easier to get what you want and so that you're able to capture more of the possibilities. And I am not, and I know Shalene is not either. Neither one of us is a heavy-handed coach or mentor at all, right? It's just not how we roll. But there are times we might point something out to you and say, hey, what about this? Have you thought about this? I know someone else that did this, and this is how it worked for them. And I guess I just want to take this moment right now at this point in time so that you hear my heart, because I know you guys all know Shalene's heart in this, but I want you to hear my heart. That's really what I'm in it for is to help you. Okay. Thumbs up. Can I get a thumbs up from everyone? Okay. Thank you, Shay.
And
I
since
appreciate
they
that.
know me, you guys would have to know that I only pick people that I can rub shoulders with, that have integrity, that are honest, that I trust. And so hopefully we've been able to gain that trust through the years and you knowing me, Paula a little less than some of the others, but I trust Tasha. I mean, I've known her for years and I hope that my trust in her allows you to easily feel that you can trust her also. So, for sure.
Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate it. So, one of the things we want to let you know is that as part of your launch, right? This is liftoff. This is getting off the ground. This is taking action. And sometimes that first action is the hardest. But here at Perga, because the system is built so tight and right, the team, the Perga corporate team, has made it really easy for you to take action because there are company overviews that happen literally every day of the week except for Friday and Sunday, right? So we put this on here so that you could see who was doing an overview at what time on each of these days. Notice here on Tuesday, there are two different times for overview. Mary Millward does the daytime one, the one that's at 12 p.m. Mountain Time and 1 p.m. Central, but it's our Tracy Peterson that does the one at 5 p.m. Mountain and 6 p.m. Central. Now, full transparency, I always try to point people to either Tracy or James. Does that to say anything negative about Micah? No, no. Micah is awesome. And she is also in our upline. But I know Tracy and James, right? And I feel like I can endorse them. But we want you to know that you can also invite your people to these. And you might consider, who did the overview that you were on and what resonated. So the call to action on this slide is pick two events that you know you can invite someone to, right? Which ones are they and why? And maybe you say, you know what, I know there's a certain group of my connections that will resonate more with Tracy, and some are just gonna hear it from James because maybe they have a more business. They're very entrepreneurial. Now, don't get me wrong, Tracy's entrepreneurial too, but maybe they will hear this a little bit different from James. So we want you to see these. And I'm just asking you on this slide, just pick two events that you feel like you could invite someone to. But let's go back to this. All right. Let's go back to your why. I really want to support your why. And I think we could talk about your why in a couple different ways. I think there are different layers and levels to your why. And if we were to kind of peel back those layers, like we're peeling back layers of the onion, on the outside, what we're really going to get is kind of like goals, right? Because I want to differentiate this. If you tell me that your why is something to do with you, like I want to accomplish a certain thing. We've all heard Mary Millward over the last week or so talk about her why. She had a daughter that needed surgery. It was imminent, needed to happen as quickly as possible. And she needed to create the income and the revenue to pay for that surgery as quickly as she possibly could. Now, I'm going to tell you that's a great motivator, and I am honoring Mary Millward in that why, but I'm going to tell you that's a goal. Okay. And we actually have to peel back some layers. And when we really get to the core of your why, it will always be about something bigger than you. Okay. And I'm telling you that like, it can be a mic drop or a truth bomb to you, but I'm kind of telling you that in a challenge of I want to hear what your whys are. And I want to support you in all the layers of your why. I want to see you get those goals, right, on the outside layer. But I also want to help you find that thing at the very core. And to some degree, you've kind of already heard my why. It's not about me, right? It's about helping you get what you want. And I believed for decades, if I can help enough people get what they want, uh, good things come automatically, right? In my life, associations, relationships, finances, all the things. And my life is so much richer than if I had focused on, I need to do this. I need to hit this next rank. So, is anybody brave enough to share what their why is? Because when you know your why, you know your way, right? It sort of dictates what you're going to do. Anybody? We don't
Yeah, I mean,
have to
I'll share.
see. I love it.
Hey, sorry, I've got my camera off. I'm at work here, but yeah, I mean, I've told Shalene a little bit, and I've been trying to, put back on social media and all that. I've just been dealing with a lot of different health issues over, I mean, the last 5 years, especially, like my body's shut down. I've been told I have all these different, deficiencies and diagnoses, and like there's no real solution other than like, oh, well, wait and see what happens, or give me a bunch of medication. So I've been trying different supplements, for years to see what I can find that will work for me. And, when I came across this, I was, completely excited and, jumped on immediately. And so if it,
Love
even
it.
helps with me with all of my conditions, and I can share that with other people, and this can help them too. I mean, that's what I'm most excited about.
I love it. You hit on so many hot buttons for me, but of course, this is something I do in my day job, my 9 to 5. And also, Stormy, I'm gonna honor too. I've been trying, and Shalene knows this, I've been coming back into social media after literally taking more than a decade of a hiatus. I just don't love social media, but I've been trying to come back and speak directly to people just like you because these things are happening, right? And we're like, what is going on with our bodies here? And I'm trying to bring the science to help people understand that. But I love that. So I'm excited to support you in your efforts and your why. Anybody else want to share? And no, there's no pressure, right? Like your why can be as personal as you want it to be, but I want to support you. Shay, you unmuted. It's your turn.
Wasn't gonna jump in over you either. I'm still working on that, to be perfectly honest. When Shalene brought this to my attention, I was pretty much oh no, not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole because we had a situation where we were in a semi-similar company and it just wasn't where I felt comfortable. But after her talking more, learning a bit more, I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure if it's definitely for me. I'm still, pondering that overall thought, but I do need more of an income. Um, I love working with Shalene. I know she partners herself with amazing people, and I want to find myself in those situations, not in other situations. So I knew even if this wasn't 100% the most radical location for me, I knew I was going to be with good people, good help, and they would support me and help me along the way to help get me there. Because even with the current situation that I'm in, it took me a while to get into it too. I was at the, I don't know if this is right for me kind of situation. So um, we'll get there at some point. But I know I have
Yeah.
good family and friends along the way. So I wanted to be able to expand on what I could share with my customers. And this is definitely another self-care avenue that's different from what I'm doing to give them more of a overall picture outside of just my own general health.
Can I just tell you, first, I want to honor all of the things that you said. And I'm just going to recap some of the things that I heard. I heard desire to surround yourself with really good people and be in a community that is positive and builds you up. I heard finances in
Mhm.
there, right? I also heard PTSD. And I'm just gonna take a second and I'm gonna honor that, right? I don't need to pay homage to it, but every single one of us likely have some PTSD from a previous experience. And I said, I will never do that again. And little known fact, Shay, you may or may not know that I was the very first um, consultant in that company that you were talking about. I had the
Didn't
very
know
first
first, but
ID
knew you
number
were
in that
very
company. And
in the
so
beginning
we
at
all
least.
shared yeah, we all share that kind of pain trauma. I get it,
Yeah.
right? I get it. And it might be from other things, but The irony in that is, even though Shalene said this to me, I actually said this to Tracy when she approached me. Oh my gosh, I could never, you know, I have wounds from that. I swore I would never do that again. Shalene said that to me too. Oh, I could never do that again. And yet, the only reason I'm pointing this out, I don't want to talk about the negative stuff. But I want to talk about something a little bit higher that's going on here. Because it's likely that if we were really being honest, each of us in our own way might acknowledge that there was maybe a higher power or some kind of just inspiration that sort of directed us and said, yes, I know, but I'm going to do something different here. And so I just want you to know that your why is safe here, right? This is a safe space. There's nothing desperate here. No scarcity, only safety. And part of that has been created by the fact that we're in pre-launch beta, right? We are safe. And at the same time, we're over here saying it's time for liftoff, right? So, in light of that, Shalene, are you good to take just a second and
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about the 1 minute power testimonial? And I want you to do this because this was a really powerful tool for you when we
Mhm.
were in Texas and we went to Fort Worth for the pre-launch event. This became a launch tool for you. So can you kind of share a little bit about this tool with everyone?
Yeah, for sure. So, being in the industry, I've always known the why is important. And peeling back those onion layers, there's the why, and then why, and then why, just really peeling those back. But Tracy gave us this worksheet when we were in Dallas, and it just really helped me. And I can tell you, I didn't do it once, I didn't do it twice. I've probably rewritten this 1 minute testimonial um 6, 7, 8 times because I want to make it's personal to me, but I also want to make it concise and just this helped me do it. So, what we want to do for you is for you to also be able to experience that really powerful testimonial for someone of why you're here and what it means to you. And this sheet, when you sit down and you fill it out, just the first time, don't double think what you're putting down, just fill it out. Fill it out all the way. And then take some time because at the bottom it says put it all together. Put it all together, but don't feel bad if you've got to go back through and change the before, change the struggle, change the shift, change the after. I did it many times and I'm still working on it. I finally have mine printed off where I feel pretty confident with what mine looks like, but that doesn't mean it won't change because your whys change, just like your powerful testimonial will change. A year from now, when we have customers coming in, I may no longer think a powerful testimonial what it is now. My struggle's no longer giving up something I love that was taken away from me to try to make it better here. It may be that this opportunity is just the powerful testimonial in itself. But where you're at right now, this is a great one to get you started to kind of bounce off your why, but also give you talking points. What, this is what
Yes.
this did for me. And when you do that, and you'll see people do it on our calls when they do testimonials, some people are better at it than others. The thing is, you have to do it out loud. Like, tell it out loud to yourself after you write it down, and then switch things up a little bit. You're not convincing anybody to join. You're just telling them why this was the fit for you. And once you take away that convincing feeling, like I need to convince them that this is going to be awesome, and you just tell them why it was awesome for you, let them pick up on their own cues. And then it's no longer feels heavy for you to present the opportunity. It's almost empowering to say, this is how it made me feel. And they'll feel that in your story because stories really will help people connect to you. So I will upload the PDF.
There,
Go ahead. I'll upload the PDF in our Powerhouse, print it off as many times as you want, and we want to hear your testimonial. Send it over to us. I sent mine to
yes.
Tracy, I sent it to Tasha, and I've reworked it. They're like, I like this, but what about this? And that's where you'll really get that gut, powerful testimonial that you will be excited to tell other people about.
The coolest thing about watching Shalene do this, and you heard her say, right? Like she's probably done it 6 times. It was like watching her peel back the layers of the onion, right? And one of the things I mentioned, your why at the core is likely it's about something definitely bigger than you. But there's one other thing that Shalene mentioned that I think we need to acknowledge. Your why will almost always be born in struggle. I listened to one podcast and they said it'll be born in the crucibles of your life. When you go through a really hard time, right? And then you say, oh my gosh, I'm going to take action so that that never happens again, so that no one else has to suffer like that, so that I can help other people. Like those are key. And so, yeah, we do challenge you to do this, and we're actually super excited to hear. So this, if you'll do this little 1 minute power testimony worksheet, um, I think it'll help you dial in your why, but also put words together, create the verbiage that you can feel confident sharing. Everybody good with that? Any questions?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
really going longer. That's why we said we need to practice this
Yeah,
because
we're
we're talking a
sorry.
lot.
Okay, so each of you has your why, and obviously the liftoff, the launch, the action that we need to take is we need to start talking to people, right? We need to use that 1 minute testimonial to pique their interest and then to invite them to listen to an overview. We pique. We get them in front of a presentation and then we pass, meaning not pass them off, but pass and create a three-way between you, them, and one of your upline leaders, whether it's me, Shalene, or Tracy, right? We're here to help and support. But we got to talk about who. Who are you going to start talking to? So, this is a list of ideas of different categories of people that will help you get started. I would suggest this. This is a great list, right? And I would definitely suggest using this list and listing the people that you think of in each of these categories. But I would add one other category. I would start my list with who are the 3 to 5 people that I could trust with my why. Like, who are the 3 to 5 people that would support me in my why? They would get it. They would encourage me. I could trust them to hold me accountable. I could trust them to be honest with me. I could trust them to say, hey, girl, buck up. Put on your big girl panties and let's go. Hey, Shalene and I have had lots of conversations like that with each other. Sometimes it was her saying, grab hold of your bootstraps, girl. It's okay. And sometimes it was me saying that to her. So I'm going to suggest go through the list, make the list of people, right? But then put a star by those that you know will honor, protect, and encourage you with your why. Okay. That will be your best and safest place to start. That is where you can feel like you can get started. Now, Um, we like systems here at Perga. And we got the list made, but now we need to invite people to participate in an overview presentation. And there's two parts to that. One is you got to get a time commitment from them, right? And then you need to share something with them that piques their interest or gets their attention. I am not going to suggest that you have to do one of these in front of the other. But if you're looking to kind of take the temperature on their availability, you could say, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow at 6 p.m. Mountain Time? I got something I'm kind of excited about that I've been meaning to share with you." Now, that's a little bit vague, right? You didn't share any details. And there's something to be said for that because sometimes we want to verbally vomit all the details, right? And we want to just go overboard, and we don't need to necessarily. Less is more. But the other piece to that is to pique their interest, right? To give them just enough that they're willing to jump on and see the overview. So you might say something like, "A founder I know and trust who's already built and scaled $1 million company is launching something brand new in the biohacking space. And they've opened up these legacy partner positions and spots are filling up fast each week. I thought about you. I immediately thought about you because I could really see you aligning with the vision of what they are building here. It's still in pre-launch, it's still in beta, but would you be open to hopping on a quick Zoom to learn more about it?" Or maybe you say something like, and I want you to take ownership. You guys are founders, right? Legacy partners, you're part of the founding group. You could absolutely say, "I'm helping to found a new company in the biohacking space with your expertise in whatever, or your interest in this, you're in the exercise science space and your focus on fitness. I think you'd absolutely love what we're working on here. You just have to see it. Are you open to jumping on a Zoom to see if this is a good fit?" Do you see how there's two parts, right? We want to test their availability, but we want to give them just enough that we kind of create a little interest or intrigue. Shalene, what would you add about with to that?
No, I think that's exactly because for me, and I will be honest, the first way doesn't feel very comfortable for me. And for me to do something in my business, I need to make sure I'm authentically myself. So with that, I tend to go more towards, just talking about my experience. I've had a lot of people reach out. I haven't had to reach out to a lot of people yet, but even when they reach out to me, I'm learning to do it better because at first I did want to verbally vomit everything, but then I'm like, "Oh, hold that back. That's too much." I just need to let them know that I'm a founder of this new company. I'm excited to share it with people. But the thing I want you guys to realize, and this has never been something that I've experienced with any other company, is how many of you feel like you don't know everything here? I don't know everything, right? You don't have to know everything because it's not your job to sell them on the opportunity. You're just presenting what we have. And so for me, it's like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I love about it. Would you like to learn a little bit more about it? And I connect them to a presentation. I don't go through the pay plan, I don't go through the products because that to me can be best served in the presentation. So Tasha switched over to our personal Zoom link. You can get this in your dashboard. I use my Zoom link as like It's precious. This is my Zoom link. And when I'm talking to somebody about the opportunity, and I'm like, typically, let's say, like tonight, there's one at 5. I'll be like, would you be able to jump on a presentation tonight and learn a bit about it at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time? And they'd say yay or nay. If it doesn't work, I'll give them one other option, but I'll say, once we know that this will work for you, I'm going to give you my personal Zoom link. And it's a special thing. So you're like, all you'll do is click on my personal Zoom link, you'll join the presentation, and then if it's okay, we're going to go ahead and follow up after your presentation. I'd love to hear what you loved about the presentation. So I'm not giving them buckets of information. I want them to go hear the information. And then when I follow up with them, then and I say, what did you love about it? Right there, you're tuning into what's interested them, not what interested me with the presentation, what
Right.
interested them. And so then your conversation, whether it's with your that person, or you bring me in, or you bring Tasha in, can be very specific to what they found and what they loved in the opportunity. The other thing I love about the Zoom link is they don't know that you can see if they got on or not. So after the presentation, if you go over and you see that they didn't show up, you still can follow up and say, hey, what did you think of the presentation? And they're going to say, I missed that one. Oh, I'm so sorry. Can we find another one that works for you? It's all about using it to not to your advantage, but kind of to your advantage, because you can follow up better. You can get down to their why, what interests them in the business, and then just present it that way. It's a little less overwhelming. I think personally, that's how I've worked the system with using my Zoom link. And that's in your back office. Everybody has a personalized one. Copy it, paste it, you're good to go.
I love it. The other thing, and you mentioned this, Shalene, is the people that you send it to when they do get on and watch an overview presentation, they show up as a lead in your back office, right? So now you have a running list. And again, let's go back to that pipeline. Our goal is to fill that pipeline so we always have people that we're working with. So here we are. We're at this magic place. What's next? Now what, right? How many of you on this call have at least 5 names on a list of people that you're like, I really think I should share this. I'd like to share Perga with them. How many of you have at least 5 names on that list? What does that mean, Shay? But this isn't like this is like a wobbly 5. Um, I get it. So, okay, let's just do this then. No big deal. Let's take 30 seconds or 1 minute even, and you can make a list of 5 people. Who are the 3 to 5 people you can trust your why with, right? Who can you trust to be supportive and encouraging and empowering for you? Who have you worked with in other companies in the past? Um, 30 seconds. Let's write 5 names, right? I did this yesterday. I actually opened, remember I told you I was on hiatus from Facebook for like over 10 years. And I'm having to resurrect a profile, but I went in there and looked at all of my friends in there. And I'm gonna be honest, some of the people I was like, who is that? How do I know them? Right? That's terrible. But at one point in time, they were enough a part of my life or my network or my business or whatever that we were connected, right? And our connection was meaningful. Those obviously were not the 5 people that I starred or that I thought I could trust my why with, but Um, but that was a great place for me to start. Okay, I'll be quiet for 30 seconds. And then, Shay, as soon as you get five people, you say, I got five, right? Maybe you'll go past five. Maybe, yeah, well, no more wobbly. Paula, you don't have to turn your camera on, but have you thought of five people that you want to share with?
For sure. I'm I've always been a show and tell kind of person,
Yeah.
regarding social media and in sharing opportunity. So I feel like I can't do this yet. I can't reach out to people yet because I haven't started the product yet.
Oh,
So
right.
yeah, I was going to while I was home this week, but then I realized I'm taking antibiotics. Taking, probiotics while you're taking antibiotics is just not a great idea. Plus, I'm
Probably not a
still
good
feeling.
idea.
So yeah, so my
Yeah.
intention is to start showing what
Love
I'm
it.
doing and then start reaching
Love
out.
it. And I think if you take that intention and combine it with the intention of maybe kind of reaching certain people, even more powerful. Stormy, you mentioned you've kind of been on this journey, right? This path to trying to figure out what in the heck is going on with your body and improve that. Have you thought of five people you might share with?
I have, yes. It'll be kind of some interesting people, but I mean, just like you, I'm trying to, get back to social media and everything too. So that's been
Yeah,
its own struggle.
kind of get it all back together.
Yeah. Shay, I see you unmuted. You got to five?
No, not well. I say I didn't because I created a list last night of just some random people who may minutely peak, but not really somebody who I could share a why with or be trustworthy with. I don't have a very close circle of friends who I consider people who I would trust with that kind of information. Again, dates back to high
Yeah.
school, things that happened. Um, my closest friends, one sitting on screen, and then another who I know is just not currently interested in this particular scenario at this time, just because of where their life is bringing them at the moment. Do I have people who I could reach out to? Potentially, but again, most of the people I associate with, they like the idea, they like the stuff that I'm sharing, they might be interested in the product at some point, but to jump into a business situation, I know I'm going to hear a boatload of no's, which I know is okay. But I haven't figured out which
Absolutely.
ones have that potential of maybe being the yes, because I'd like to be able to, throw those yeses kind of in the mix so it doesn't feel so draining if you don't get them
So
every
I'm gonna
once in a
go
great while.
I'm gonna go back to, so I'm gonna go back into coaching mode with you, Shay, and I'm gonna say, you've already decided for those people. Like you actually just took their decision-making power away. So I'm gonna challenge you. Let's actually go back to the step where you're using that 1 minute testimonial thing and you're figuring out the verbiage because it's actually not about those people's decision, right? And it's actually not about whether you can trust them with your why, right? It is about like, can we pique their interests and get them in front of an overview? So, yep, we just reinforced. That's why we wanted to do those things first. So that's where you live at this point. I've said this before. This is your launch. This is your liftoff. This is your takeoff. This is when fire starts to come out of the back end of the rocket ship. And we generate fears while we sit, but we overcome them by action. And Shay, you're nodding your head, and Shalene's nodding her head. And I think we know that, right? Like even you just verbalizing that you're giving them all this power to say no. We haven't even done anything yet. You haven't even talked to them yet. right? So let's get really good at the why I'm here. What's my motivation, right? And putting words to that. And then let's, because that's still action, Shay. That's still moving forward. That's still lighting the rocket ship. Um, and then we definitely want to start inviting people to those meetings. In the spirit of the system and of kind of getting people prepared for the next overview, the next meeting, we want to also get you guys prepared for the next Saturday Pillar event, right? We've been calling these pre-launch labs in the past, but on the second Saturday of every month, James Bradford, who's the founder, owner, CEO, he does a workshop that usually goes more than 2 hours, right? But he's trying to get it down to 2 hours. But that is an event I would be on, especially if I were in this phase of of launching my business and I was learning and I was getting my verbiage down and dialing in my why on that, right? Okay, so the next one is on June 13th, Saturday, June 13th, 10 a.m. Mountain, 11 Central, noon Eastern time. We gave you a lot of information. We're straight up on an hour right now. Our goal was to do this in like 30 to 45 minutes, but it's okay. We're going to give ourselves grace, right? And we're going to say we're going to get better and dial it in. But what questions did we create for you guys at this point? Do you all feel like there is one action that you can take today? Did we give you one thing, maybe two things, maybe even three things that you could take action on? Whether that was dialing in your 1 minute testimonial, whether that was identifying and uncovering your why, or whether that was creating your list. Because the more people on your list, the fuller your pipeline will be over time, right? And yes, Shay's shaking her head like, yeah, I know it also means the more no's I'm going to get. That's okay too, right? That's okay, right? No just means not now. Did everybody get something they could take action on? Okay, Shalene is going to take that 1 minute testimonial worksheet and put it in the Perga Powerhouse page. And you guys will be able to take it, print a couple copies. You're going to go through it multiple times. Thank you for taking the time to get on. We hope we gave you some tools. We want you to get liftoff, okay?
All
And
right.
we're here to help.
Yep, connect with Tasha if you, I mean, even if you need to go to if you need it, I can give you Tasha's. Otherwise, you can go to my Facebook page, find her, friend her. She's not really good at Facebook, but she's getting better.
We can help push her by reaching out more often.
Yeah, yeah, just make her get on Facebook a little bit more.
Hey, I'm repenting, Shalene.
I know. You're doing good. We love it. All right, guys, have a
All
good
right, guys,
day.
we're gonna let you go.
Hey,
Thanks
thank
a lot.
you.
See ya.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.